He walked into the hotel like any other tired traveler. No luggage, no suit, no entourage, just jeans, a worn-out t-shirt, and a quiet presence. The manager took one look at him and laughed. "Sorry, sir. This place is for real guests." What he didn't realize? He had just insulted one of the richest men in the world, Elon Musk. And in less than 24 hours that insult would come back to haunt him in a way no one saw coming. Section 1. The Unexpected Guest expanded. "Sorry, sir, but this hotel is for real guests, not people like you." Those words cut through the silence of the polished marble lobby, echoing louder than the quiet hum of the chandelier lights above. The manager stood tall behind the front desk. Immaculate suit, slicked back hair, and a name tag that read, Derek, Guest Relations. He spoke with the kind of confidence that comes from years of turning away people who didn't look the part. In front of him stood a man in worn jeans, a plain t-shirt, slightly messy hair, and no luggage in sight. His shoes were dusty, and he looked, by all appearances, more like a road-tripping backpacker than a billionaire tech mogul. But this wasn't just any man. It was Elon Musk. The manager didn't know. Or maybe he didn't care. Elon had just finished an unannounced inspection at one of his Tesla facilities nearby. He often did this, dropping in on his teams without warning, working late into the night, sleeves rolled up, standing shoulder to shoulder with engineers. He wasn't interested in five-star treatment or flashy entrances. He just wanted a quiet place to rest. The luxury hotel he walked into was known for its elegance and exclusivity. White marble floors, velvet armchairs, classical music playing softly in the background. It was the kind of place where CEOs, celebrities, and foreign dignitaries regularly checked in. But Elon didn't arrive in a limousine. He pulled up in a dusty Tesla Model Y alone. No security, no entourage, just him. He stepped inside, nodded politely at the front desk, and said, "Good evening. I was hoping to book a room for the night." The manager looked up slowly, scanning him with a practiced eye. No designer labels, no briefcase, no reservation. His eyes narrowed. "Do you have a booking?" he asked, his voice flat. "No," Elon replied calmly. "I was just passing through and thought I'd stop here. Do you have any availability?" Derek gave a forced smile, the kind that doesn't reach the eyes. "I'm afraid we're fully booked tonight," he said, even though the reservation board behind him clearly showed 5 open suites. Elon glanced at it, then back at the manager. Still, he didn't argue. "I see," he said simply. "That's all right. Thank you anyway." But just as Elon turned to leave, the manager added with a smirk, "Next time, maybe try a place more suited to your style. We're a luxury brand here, sir." Elon paused for half a second, not because he was hurt, but because he was fascinated. He'd been to Mars simulation bases, launched rockets, bought entire companies, but in that moment, standing in a hotel lobby dressed like an average Joe, he was reminded of something simple. People still judge books by their covers. He gave a slight smile, one that didn't show any offense, only quiet curiosity, then walked out into the night. Derek turned back to his computer, proud of upholding the hotel's image. The hotel lobby had that kind of silence you could almost hear. Everything looked picture perfect, freshly polished marble floors, grand chandeliers casting a golden glow, and the faint scent of expensive cologne hanging in the air. It was quiet, almost too quiet, the kind of place where whispers felt like shouting. Behind the reception desk stood a man who looked like he belonged on a magazine cover, not a hair out of place. Designer tie, cufflinks sparkling under the lights. His name tag read, Derek, Guest Relations Manager. But his body language screamed something else. Gatekeeper. He noticed Elon walking in. Disheveled, dusty, clearly not their usual clientele. As Elon approached the desk, Derek didn't even look up at first. He tapped at his keyboard, sighed, and glanced up with the kind of expression that said, "Don't waste my time." "Yes," he said, his tone as flat as the marble counter. "I'd like to book a room for the night," Elon said calmly. Derek looked him over with the precision of a scanner. No designer watch, no high-end luggage, and a t-shirt that looked like it had seen one too many rocket launches. He didn't recognize the face. To him, Elon looked like someone who had taken a wrong turn on the way to a budget motel. He raised one eyebrow. "I'm sorry," he said with a smirk, "but we're fully booked tonight." Behind him, the monitor on the wall clearly displayed several vacant luxury suites. Elon glanced at it, but didn't say a word. Derek added, with just enough venom to cut, "Maybe try somewhere a little more in your range." It was the kind of insult that didn't need to be loud to be cruel. Not yelled, not direct, but wrapped in fake politeness, dipped in arrogance and served with a smile. There was a brief pause. Elon wasn't offended. Not really. If anything, he looked intrigued. This wasn't the first time someone had judged him by his appearance, but it was the first time it had happened this boldly, in a place that claimed to be world class. He looked at the manager for a second, measuring him. Then with a small smile he said, "That's all right, I understand." And just like that, he turned and walked away. No name drop, no "do you know who I am?" No power play, just quiet dignity. Derek chuckled under his breath, proud of himself. In his mind, he'd protected the hotel's image. He turned back to his keyboard and resumed typing, completely unaware that he had just made the mistake of his career. Because that man, the one he just kicked out with a smirk, he owned space companies, electric car empires, satellites, social media platforms, and very soon he'd be owning something else too. What Derek didn't know was that within the next 24 hours, the entire hotel staff would be talking about what happened in that lobby, because first impressions, they can be powerful. But judging someone too quickly, especially someone like Elon Musk, can be the kind of mistake you never live down. Later that night, the hotel had settled into its usual calm. The lobby was quiet, the lights dimmed, and soft classical music drifted through the air like a lullaby. Derek, the manager, sat in his office behind the front desk, sipping a lukewarm espresso and scrolling through emails. He was proud of how he handled the earlier situation. After all, image mattered. You couldn't just let anyone through those doors. But then a knock. "Come in," he said, barely looking up. A younger staff member, a bellhop named Ryan, stepped in, looking like he'd just seen a ghost. His eyes were wide, and he was clutching his phone tightly. "Hey, did you see who that guy was earlier?" Derek raised an eyebrow. "What guy?" "The man you turned away, the one in the t-shirt." Derek rolled his eyes. "Yeah, the drifter. What about him?" Ryan swallowed hard. "That was Elon Musk." Silence. Derek blinked once, then let out a dry laugh. "What? Don't be ridiculous." Ryan didn't laugh. Instead, he turned the phone around and showed him the screen. There, on Twitter, blazing in real time, was a photo someone had snapped just outside the hotel entrance. It showed the same man standing beside a Tesla talking on the phone, and in the caption, "Just spotted Elon Musk casually making a call outside the Grand Aurora Hotel. No security, no fanfare. Wild." The post had already racked up thousands of likes and retweets. Derek stared at the screen. "Elon Musk?" he muttered. "As in Tesla Elon Musk? SpaceX Elon Musk? Twitter Elon Musk?" Ryan nodded slowly. "Yeah, that Elon Musk." Derek's espresso cup slipped from his hand and shattered on the floor. His heart sank as his brain raced to process what just happened. He had insulted and turned away one of the richest, most powerful, and most visionary people on the planet. A man who had literally launched rockets into orbit, and now, thanks to him, probably wouldn't set foot in that hotel ever again. Worse, everyone online was starting to connect the dots. In the background of the photo, you could clearly see the hotel's signature marble pillars. Comments were flooding in. "Can't believe they didn't recognize him. Elon Musk denied a room. Imagine being that guy. That hotel manager's gonna be jobless by morning." Panic set in. Derek stood up, suddenly flustered. Maybe I can fix this, he said aloud, pacing. We'll issue an apology, send a gift basket, offer him the penthouse, anything. Ryan shook his head slowly. It's already out there. People are screen recording everything. The hotel's being tagged non-stop. Derek looked at the screen again, watching the view count climb higher and higher. His face turned pale. This wasn't just a mistake. It was a PR disaster. He hadn't just misjudged a guest. He had publicly humiliated a man who could buy the entire hotel chain, just to turn it into a parking lot if he wanted to. And the worst part, it could have all been avoided, with a little respect. In that moment, Derek realized something deep, something painful. First impressions may lie, but actions speak louder, and his actions had just gone viral. The next morning, the hotel owner got a call from Elon's assistant. She was calm but firm. Mr. Musk is requesting a meeting with the hotel's upper management today. The owner, confused and slightly terrified, agreed. That afternoon, Elon arrived again. This time not alone. He walked in with a small team. No press, no drama, just purpose. He greeted the staff politely and asked to speak with the manager. The manager, the same man who had dismissed him, stood frozen, sweating behind the desk. Elon walked up, looked him in the eye and simply said, "You judged me in what I was wearing, not by who I am. That's a problem. And it's not just about me." He turned to the owner. "I'd like to buy this hotel." The room went silent. The owner blinked. "Excuse me? I want to buy it and make some changes." Within weeks, the sale went through. Elon Musk became the majority stakeholder of the hotel chain. But instead of firing the manager immediately, he did something different. He called a meeting with all hotel staff. He told the story, without naming names. Never judge someone by their appearance. The next time someone walks in looking tired, messy, or out of place, remember this moment. Because respect isn't earned by clothes, it's earned by character. The manager was demoted, but not let go. Elon believed in second chances, but he had to earn his place back, one guest at a time. Months later, the hotel became known for its humble luxury, a place where everyone was treated with kindness, no matter how they walked in. And just like that, one moment of judgment turned into a worldwide embarrassment, all because someone thought they could measure a man's worth by his clothes, not knowing he could launch rockets, build electric empires and change the world in the same shoes they laughed at. Elon Musk didn't need to clap back. The truth did it for him. Now here's the question. What would you have done in that manager's place? Drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one of them, and if you love stories with powerful twists, real-life lessons, and a bit of karma, hit that subscribe button because we've got more jaw-dropping tales coming your way. And trust me, you won't want to miss the next one. Until then, stay curious, and never judge a book by its cover.